This is Randy Nesbitt. I'm the CEO and founder of Posi-Trak Strength Training, and I had some misgivings about doing the shirtless thing, but it's to help prove our contrarian emphasis. So contrarian upper body, I'm 67 years old. I'm at the point where you can't really add muscle mass, supposedly. You can't even hardly, you can maintain it, but still slipping as each year passes. Since I gave up dumbbells, barbells, conventional upper body strength training in the last 2 years, I've gained 7 pounds of lean muscle mass and lost nearly 7 pounds of body fat. With this really simple but complex major muscle group strength training for the upper body, how about a lat pull down, twisting, pulling push-up? I only work out no more than 30 minutes a week on upper body strength training. Contrarian upper body strength training. This is the twisted mule. It is a push-up piece, but push-ups are just a tricep and chest. Here you're getting a pulling movement also because you're twisting the bar. So you can do an upper body workout you might typically think, or we will do it, with conventional exercises translating to this, transferring. So what about a press? Or what about a row? So I'm gonna do a pressing movement while I twist the bar and while I row it back. I'm pressing with one arm, rowing with the other. Physical therapists have emphasized with us this twisting movement that we do spreads the load safely, can actually rehab, well, it did rehab my joint problems and many other people's joint issues that they've had, chronic pain issues, because you're hitting all your major muscles stabilizers at the same time. No muscles are skipped over. The load is spread. It's not isolated like a bicep curl or a shoulder press, or it's not isolated in that way. It's very friendly on your joints, but extremely intense in the muscle building and strength gains category. So we'll do 18 exercises, 9 upper body, 9 lower body. It'll be in the form of 3 cycles. Cycle is upper body, lower body, upper body, lower body, upper body, lower body. That's one cycle. We'll do 3 cycles. So the circuit begins with our upper body strength work on twisted mule. Extremely joint friendly because you're using all your prime movers and stabilizers at the same time. The shoulders are mobile, locked in place, doing a bench press. We're doing a shoulder press. We're doing a lat raise. Your shoulders are moving, so it combines the best of both worlds, functional training with strength and muscle mass building. So here's the dirty little secret. This will get you stronger and build more muscle mass than dumbbells and barbell.
Okay, I'm Tara Gibson. This is my 4th workout here. I just wanted to talk about the injuries that I've had in my life. I've had a shoulder injury where it was a partial tear. Never had surgery or anything, but just kind of babied it over the years. But I can tell you that with the workouts that I've had, I can already tell that I'm stronger, and there's no pain associated with workout.
We took 3 West High School football players at the beginning of the summer who had 2 weeks off after their peak of strength level for the school year, when they ended the school year with all their maxes, and they thought they were at their strength level peak. They had 2 weeks off before they started summer training, and their coach said, "We got a few guys that'll work out with you." So we only had them for 2 weeks, and for 2 weeks, this is the only upper body work they did. And at the end of 2 weeks, you can see the results on how their bench press went up and how their pull-ups went up, and they were not doing bench presses and pull-ups, only the twisted mule. So here's an example. The first exercise would be pushing with my left arm, pulling with my right. We throw a push-up in the middle. So that's our alternating twisting push-up, stationary push-up, and you'll build up towards 9 sets of 16 of these. So we're alternating upper body, now a leg. We go from one thing to the next, so you get a circuit high intensity effect So your metabolism gets higher, your heart rate gets up some, like you want it to be. This is our ground bowl. Ground, B is for base, U is for upper body, L is for lower body, L is leverage. The roller pads give you leverage for the lifts that you're using. So ground bowl. The feature on it is the reverse squat. So I'm gonna slip my arms in the calf slings, put my other leg in, and I'm having to pull down with my hips and do a squat in reverse. So half of life is, if you're walking, pushing off the ground, but the other half is pushing into the ground. That's never been trained before. That's why we'll have a patent on this, because of the way the legs rollers are configured. It keeps you in position, and immediately, as soon as you start driving your hips down, your glutes and hamstrings engage, which happens whenever you walk. When your foot strikes the ground, your hamstring and glutes engage. When you're doing a squat or a lunge, let's say I'm doing lunges and squatting, your hamstring and glutes do not engage immediately. You're controlling the force down. As you do when you walk or run or jump, you're applying force into the ground. So when a senior gets older and falls, it's not because their hips were weak, it's because their glutes could not support their next step, and they fall because their glutes aren't strong enough to absorb that force. So this is all about building the ability to absorb force in your glutes and hamstrings the rest of your life. The glutes muscles are the biggest muscles in your body. Once you hit 35, you start to atrophy in your glute area until you get to the point where you don't have the strength anymore to run or to walk. And this trains in a way that's never been done before, in multi-joint. You don't have to lay on your back and do glute bridges. You don't have to do these different isolation exercises. It's real life, feet on the ground, ground-based, glute and hamstring training. So this machine becomes usually the favorite of people who train with us because it's a decompression action. Now, if you would go to a chiropractor at a decompression table, they'd lay you down, they'd pull your upper torso one way, your lower torso the other way, and would decompress your back. So what happens on here is your hips are pulling you down, but the weight is trying to pull your upper body up, so you get decompression in your back. And everybody talks about how this makes their backs feel really good. So it's a training that's not available anywhere but on this machine. We even get to the point where we do it really deep. And people just want to sit here because in this position here, my upper body's being pulled up by the weight. My hips are keeping me down. And it's just a really nice stretching decompression feeling in your lower back. I've gone around to so many high-level training facilities where they do, the cutting-edge stuff of, bounding and all these different plyometric exercises and squatting and lunging, and I hear the same thing from other people. My lower back is always sore, it's always stiff. This eliminates that.
Hey, my name is Chandler Vinson, and I am a Posi-Trak supporter and user. And when I started going here about 1.5 years ago, I was using a back brace. My back was absolutely killing me all the time. Not enough to where I needed surgery, but just enough to make my life very uncomfortable. And when I started using the ground bowl, almost immediately I saw results. It uses decompression techniques that would be really common in chiropractic services, but it's far less expensive, far safer, and while you do it, you're actually working your whole body and giving yourself a workout while you do it. Since Coach knew that I had lower back pain, he has customized my workout to where I go deeper, and the deeper I go, the better I feel. I can also go from side to side, which alleviates a lot of tension there too. And it's just absolutely wonderful. If I could afford a ground bowl, I would put it in my house, because anytime I come in here and my back feels bad, it takes one set.
My name is Ron Berry. I'm in my 3rd week of working out with Coach Nesbitt. When I came here, I had a psychiatric nerve that was giving me a problem. In the past, I would have gone to the chiropractor 3 or 4 times. Since I've been working out with Coach Nesbitt, I have no pain. I'm pain-free. I can feel my legs, my back, much stronger than before. all because of the workouts that I'm doing here with Coach Nesbitt. I would encourage you to do the same. Your life will get better because of it.
So now we're going back to an upper body exercise on the twisted mule. Now, it would be, the second exercise would be taking my right hand forward, the opposite of what I did on the first exercise, but just to jump ahead and show different grips and how this works as a complete upper body system. So the first one was a push and a pull. The second one would be the other way, with a push and pull. Now I'm going to do a lat pull down, twisting push up. So I'm going to grip the bar like this. See at this angle, I'm going to pull my left arm down and push my right arm forward. So I'm getting some work that would equate to doing a pull down. And I would go back to another leg exercise. Natural balance squat. It has a balance board in it. We can make it stable where it's flat, normal surface around. But the magic comes in when you're squatting on a llama. So we can do it in different ways. We recently added a 79-year-old client, and then we have to decide, should he or she put the yoke on their back? Which this is comfortable. There's something called a Smith machine that's been around for decades, and it's on a track. It's a machine. So if you know what a Smith machine is, this differs because this moves in any direction. Different than Smith machine. Smith machine is restrictive, keeps you in mass, which is not really healthy for your joints. So this moves freely. The yoke is comfortable, but we need to have a certain strength level in order to be able to handle the yoke. So we can also not use the yoke, take a dumbbell, hold on, and do similar type movements without the yoke. And we could do these movements on the platform without the yoke, and then graduate to the yoke as we got stronger. But it's extremely safe, it's easy on your joints. We'll tell you to sit back so that your back is in a really good position, your knees are in a really good position, but you can't fall over. That's the range of motion you have inside of it. So I'm going to sit back, and just to learn, I'll ride the rails. Squat deep. And we'll take you down at your, we'll meet you where you are. We might just start at this level, and then a week later get a little lower. But the key is that if you see from the side and watch my knees from a side view, you'll see they're more like pins. They stay pretty much in position, and your back stays straight. That's why it's easier on your joints. That's completely different than a bar where your knees are sliding forward, which is completely different as far as the stress on the knee joint. So this is really easy on your back and knees compared to a bar or whatever, some other type of system. But if you were to just pretend like you were squatting with a bar, you'll feel like everything grinding down on your knees and your lower back. If you pretend like you're squatting but you have the balance, you'll feel it all shift around, so you're getting great core work, and you'll feel it shifting away from your back and knees and being picked up by all your auxiliary core muscles. So safe, really effective, and everybody hears about as you get older, you gotta be able to keep your balance. Well, this obviously it's a no-brainer.
Hi, I'm Belinda from Knoxville. I've never been a fan of weight training, but since I've started using the Twisted Mule and doing leg workouts, I've been able to go off my A1C and my blood pressure medicine.
And being a former athlete, not a former athlete, I'm still alive, so I'm an Olympian right now. But I really worried about my ability to take care of myself. And when I did work out when I was younger, people would still see me as that Olympian, and I would usually get hurt from the training. But this changed everything, because as an Olympian, we used a lot of things that were general body strength, core, uneven, the platform having to balance. And so that has really been the big difference for me in understanding now I can be strong, and I can be strong well into my 60s, well into my 70s. I see myself continuing to be able to ski, to be able to now go longer hikes. You know, I've done Mount LeConte. It was not pretty. I'm excited about doing that again. And I'm able to do things with my kids, with my son, who's an NCAA basketball player. So I'm excited. I'm excited about how strong I can get, but not from I'm not trying to bodybuild or anything like that. I just want to enjoy this other half. And I am excited to be 56 and fit for the first time in many, many years, and of course, fabulous.
So now we've gone so far in the first cycle: upper body, lower body, upper body, natural balance squat, back to upper body. We would go to the pull down on the other side, but that would get boring to go over that much detail. Now we change our grip. You really can't do bicep push-ups with an underhand grip, on the ground. Your wrist couldn't handle that because of the nice round big circumference of the bar. You can put your hands underhand, and now as soon as you do that, you start engaging your biceps. So again, going back in general, the idea that this is a compound movement, not an isolation. This is not good for your body, your elbow joints. Power lifters, as they age, they have horrible joint issues, shoulders, elbow tendonitis, and people who lift it really hard over the course of time, that happens to everybody. But this will rehab those things. So 4 years ago, I'd reached the end of the line with a bicep tear, elbow tendonitis, as far as doing regular bench presses, pull downs, and it coincided with us getting this ready to go to market. And as I trained on it, my elbow tendonitis was gone in 2 weeks. We just have testimony after testimony. Shoulder pain gone, wrist pain gone. I had bicep tear. A University of Tennessee baseball player with a bicep strain, it goes away. Because of the fact that you're not missing, as a physical therapist told me, you can't skip over any muscles on this. You're hitting all your muscles as you turn all the way through the prime movers. This is a prime mover: chest, tricep, bicep when you're doing an underhand grip. So I'm hitting, on this movement, I'm hitting bicep, tricep. If you do a bicep curl, your tricep shuts down. That's why it strains your elbow. On this, your tricep is engaged because while you're doing a bicep curl push-up, your tricep is engaged because you're doing a push-up. So when I'm twisting, I'm getting everything. Bicep, tricep, lats. Of course, you're getting your lats on all these twists, which makes it completely different than a regular push-up. Completely different. This is our third leg machine. So as you go around the circuit 3 times, you'll have to do the ground bull, reverse squat 3 times, the natural balance squat 3 times, and the depth con 2. Depth is in deep, con means, and 2 means two-way concentric, which just means positive, positive. So positive means, like, this is, if I was doing a bicep curl, that's the positive, this is the negative. There is no negative on this. This is a magnetic chamber. It's extremely expensive technology. This chamber costs $6,000 just to make itself, but it's tremendous for, again, intensity, but joint friendliness, because a deadlift is very straining if you do a regular deadlift, because you have the weights. There's back compression, spinal compression. On here, there is none of that. It's just like invisible resistance with the magnets. So the magnets resist you on the way down, and they resist you on the way up. So even though I'm going into a fairly deep squat, I don't have that outside weight that causes back compression. So I'm having to drive force into the ground, like when you're walking, you drive force into the ground, and then you drive force out of the ground. This is perfect training to simulate life, and you can do different stances. You can do one leg, split stances, diagonal stances. And again, it's really healthy for the back because you're getting a lot of back training without fear of injury, without fear of back strain. Very intense, very joint friendly. So we've completed one circuit. We've gone around, we've done 3 upper body, 3 legs. That's 1/3 of the way through the workout. We go around it 2 more times, and that will give you your 18 total exercises. We'll wrap up with the twisted mule though, just to show you again, there's other grips. So now we could do a narrower grip with one hand and a wider grip. So I'm getting bicep with this hand, tricep with this hand. Because it's a narrow grip now. So we're doing this type of work. We could pair that up with the opposite grip. And then on the 9th push-up, so again, there's 9 legs, 9 upper body. The 9th would be both narrow, both triceps. If we get to where we could do 9 sets of 16 at this height, we would start to do a little bit on the bottom level to get more progressive. So I'm supporting much more body weight. We can also, as I said before, we have an 89-year-old who does this in his home, and we can meet you where you are. Even if this height was too much for you at your present body weight and strength level, we could put 2 extension posts in. And the 89-year-old he started at this level. So you're supporting really very, very little of your body weight. But it's a good starting point. You do 9 sets of 16 there, and then we can take one out and start weaning you in at a little lower level. We'll speak to the flexibility of this type of training with the ground bull, where on the reverse squat, you are lengthening your hip flexors and increasing your hamstring flexibility without doing stretching. I never stretch. I was a college basketball player, and I would stretch our program, our team would stretch for weeks on end. And about the best I could ever do was about this. As a college basketball player, on an 8-week program stretching, I never stretch right now, never. That has nothing to do with a flexibility program that you would see. Normally, I could just do that because of the way I train, because of how we reverse squat on this. Now we're going to show you one more thing, one more piece of equipment. It's just our warm-up. It's a 40-second warm-up, which is revolutionary in how fast it warms your body up, gets you activated, and how flexible it makes you.
You got it?
Start to check your stretch.
Oh, okay.
Good. That's pretty good. All right. Better than I am. All right. So stretch down a little bit to top of these 2, flexion these 2 times. Now let you go a little lower. One more time. Now just sway side to side. Just open up the back. Sound a little further. Okay. Woo! 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 Oh, go back on. Sorry.
With this?
No, just reach down now and see how much further you go.
Look at that.
Wait, honestly, I'll try it.
That's a full hand. All right.
Exercise over the years with barbells and gym equipment, but never anything that's like this with the resistance training. And I just want to say, I went back after 6 weeks of doing this 2 or 3 times a week, went back to my old routine the other day, and noticed a tremendous increase in strength. I say tremendous, quite a noticeable in strength in doing my squats and doing my burpees. It was like a tremendous difference. And even doing my elliptical, I do 30 minutes on elliptical, even I felt stronger there. So overall, it's done a tremendous amount for core strengthening and just balanced training has really paid off. And I look forward to continuing to improve here as I keep working out.
Hi, my name's Lori McKelvey, and as you age, it's real important to build muscle. So I've always been committed to trying to train. So I would go to different trainers and pay a lot of money and not really get results, and I would leave the gym sore and breaking down. But then I tried this new program that Randy has, and what I like about it is I've gotten stronger, my body's changed, it only takes me 30 minutes. It's fast, it's effective, and I see gradual natural muscle mass change, and that's what I like about it.